Welcome to Channel's Book Club. I am Olakunle Kasumo. Thank you for always joining us and sending us your feedback on our social media platforms. Don't forget, we are always happy to receive your feedback via Facebook, Twitter, or our YouTube channel. Now, today's episode features a passionate author with a desire to use his creative writing skills to address fundamental social issues. Let's get to know him.
My name is Patrick Ugochukwu Maidoh. I'm the author of The Protagonist, A Tale of Two Halves.
Patrick Maidoh studied accountancy for his first degree at a university in Nigeria and later proceeded to the University of East London Business School to get an MBA in Business Administration. He is a member of both the Chartered Insurance Institute and the Institute of Financial Services in the United Kingdom. But beyond the busy professional life, he describes himself as just an ordinary guy.
I'm a regular guy like anyone out there. I'm married to a beautiful wife, Chigozie, and I've got two lovely boys, Henry and Austin. We all support the best football club in the world, and that's Arsenal. I just have a passion to reach the next generation, hence I have written this book.
Patrick Maidoh was born in Agwo, Delta State in Nigeria in the early 70s.
Well, I've been told it's no longer a small village. I come from a town now called Onichubo in Delta State, and I have 5 other siblings. My dad, the late Justice Maidoh, he has passed away, and I have my mom as well. So I come from a big family, and I just love life, and I want to make sure I'm reaching out to the next generation.
Patrick is keen on giving a better tomorrow to young adults, and he is the founder of the Second Chance in Life Foundation. He is aware and concerned about the enormous task of preparing Nigeria's young adults for the future.
I believe that we need to give our young adults relevance in life and give them that affirmation. When we give them that relevance in life, then when they get into a situation where they are buffeted with an alternative, because they are rock solid in the relevance we've given to them and in the affirmation they have, they don't get swayed or carried away with the other side or what seemingly looks very attractive because they are solid in who they are and they've made that decision based on the relevance we've given to them and the affirmation. So I would always encourage parents and guardians or people who have a responsibility to young adults, make sure we affirm them and give them that relevance, because if we don't, they'll find the relevance somewhere else.
His passion to impact the next generation inspired his novel titled The Protagonist, A Tale of Two Halves, a tight-paced narrative which gives the reader an examination of the phenomenon of cult gangs in the Nigerian education system. Writing the book was quite an experience for him.
The excitement for me was just, in fact, I struggled to find words to express how I felt. Well, it was challenging. It had its own challenges because I was employed. I worked 9 to 5, 9 to 6, come back home, I start writing or have to do the daily chores at home, having 2 young boys who are boisterous. So I used to see myself writing into the early hours, 2, 3 a.m. Then I also had to get up to do the school run. But with the support of my wife, I was able to, push myself. So it was challenging. People would ask me, how difficult is it to write a novel? For me, writing the book was, I think, maybe the easiest part for me. Because I was driven to write it. I think the challenges started when, after writing it, I started looking for a publisher. I think that was a major challenge for me. Being in the UK, writing about a Nigerian issue, it was a challenge. But finally, I got a publisher that liked the theme and felt it was a winner. and they decided to take a chance on me. And being a debut novel, they felt, you know what, would give it a go. I'm reading from page 20 and chapter 1. And I'll just give you a backdrop to what was about to happen. Again, Remy, the mischievous, gregarious, and pugnacious young boy, was about to get into trouble again as usual with his father. He had gone out to play football without doing his homework, and now he's coming back home and would take the narrative from paragraph 2, and I would read. I received 12 strokes as promised by my father and was threatened with 24 the next time, but that did not deter me. And I was soon back on the field showing off my dribbling skills. When the football game ended, I did not want to go home. I knew what fate awaited me, and the euphoria of the game had worn off. As I dragged myself home, I could see my father's figure from afar, sitting in his favorite chair in the courtyard with a cane on the floor beside him. I guess it was time for me to submit to my faith. I had had the pleasure of the game, and now it was time to take the pain. I took my punishment again in good faith, and I was threatened with 48 strokes of the cane the next time. There was a strong temptation to head out to the playing fields the next day after school, but the thought of 48 strokes of my father's cane was quite daunting. I weighed up my options: 60 minutes of excitement versus 48 strokes of the cane. I was still going through this in my head, standing a few yards from the gate of the playing field, when my friend Nnamdi called out to me. I approached the locked gate with much apprehension, but the sight of the football in Nnamdi's hand, it had me climbing over the gate against my better judgment. I played that football game as if it was my last day on earth. I did not want it to end and then have to go home to face my father and the cane. As the light faded and the game was finished, I had no excuse to avoid going home. I dragged my feet in the direction of home. The nearer I got to the house, the more I wished the building would recede. My heart was pounding. I eventually reached the gate and stood there for about 5 minutes. I knew that the more time went by, the graver the consequences would be. Well, I said to myself in pidgin English, well, all diners die. Play the game, take the pain. And with that thought in my head, I walked into the compound like a condemned prisoner. My father looked at me in disgust before asking me where I had been. Not because he wanted that information, as the answer was obvious from my appearance. I went to play football after I had finished studying with Nnamdi across the road, I answered. My father spent 5 long minutes looking at me and tried to decide what to do next. Then, to my greatest surprise, he stood up, shook his head, and left the room, muttering under his breath, "This boy must be possessed." I knew then that I had won a major victory in my life. I had just conquered the cane. But that night, I slept with one eye open in case my father changed his mind and decided to give out punishment. Wow.